Well, today it's World Children's Day, a day dedicated to celebrate childhood. It is on this day that tribute is paid to all children in the world. First proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in 1954, it was established to encourage all countries to institute a day, first to promote mutual exchange and understanding among children, and second to initiate action to benefit and promote the welfare of world children. Let's now bring in CEO Bolanle Edwards, convener, Strap and Safe Child Foundation. Thank you very much indeed for coming this hour.
Good afternoon.
Right, good afternoon. Well, as we have seen, essentially the day was instituted to work towards the benefit of the children. Absolutely. To ensure that they are safe, they are well and alive. Have we met that, demand, obligation really?
I would say we're far from it. And that's why an organization like ours started this advocacy about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, advocating for children's safety when they're at school, when they're at home, and when they're on the road. It's been quite a challenging one because safety in Nigeria, it's something that we don't take so seriously. And that's why you see an adult wearing a seatbelt and a child is just a moving object in the car. And you wonder, why would you leave your child to so much vulnerability, to danger? The child could get maimed, could get killed. I mean, something still happened just about 2 days ago, somewhere around Magodo here, where a child was left in the car, and the car rolled into a ditch, but thank God the child didn't die. These are the kind of things and
instances of children left in the ar, although not in this part of the world, but in foreign countries where parents leave children in the car.
The one
and
then wind up?
Yes, with the car up and
the heater is on.
Yes.
We've had several cases where children actually pass on. You know, by the time the mother comes out from the supermarket or wherever. I
saw one a few days ago, just yesterday on social media.
Yes.
Where the baby, died.
Yes, died. It happens all the time. And that's why we keep advocating for child safety. That every Nigerian, every parent, every guardian, every custodian of children should begin to take the lives of those children seriously. If you can use a seatbelt, what stops you from making your child also use a seatbelt or a car seat? And if you must cross the road, why can't you use the pedestrian bridge with your child? That is why you keep seeing children being knocked down on our roads, even adults as well. So safety is an holistic thing. You have to take it all the way. We can't do it abroad, come back home and it's business as usual. Because we all get to do this thing when we travel. We comply by the rules and regulations over there. But we come back home and it's business as usual.
It becomes a different
because
thing.
The law is there, but there's no implementation whatsoever.
And you know, when you talk about children's safety, you must remember the Tapchi, girls,
absolutely,
the Chibok girls,
yes.
Safety around schools. But Lagos State has done very well in trying to create that safety around schools.
They're trying, but we can do more. We can do more. Safety, security is second to none. It's something we cannot continue to overemphasize. I've had a case whereby a child was almost kidnapped in the car, in traffic. Security. Why can't you use a child lock? Why can't you make sure that the child's door is properly locked and the child is properly strapped to the car? You hear all sort of anomalies, very excusable things that are happening around Lagos and even in Nigeria that shouldn't even be at all. And because children are very voiceless, they're vulnerable, they're open to danger, we should be their voice. We should be the one keeping them from this danger and making sure that they stay alive. And
not just in schools, but also at home.
At home, yes. That is why we're taking a tripod. At home, at school, and on the road. At home, there are a lot of times that children they drink insecticide and they die. Okay. I've had a case of a friend whose son actually drank an insecticide and the boy died. He didn't make it.
Absolute negligence.
Absolute. I don't know, what kind of excuse do you have? That you didn't know that you'd have to, you're not supposed to put insecticide there, you're not supposed to put bleach or those kind of things around where children can easily. They're curious, they're very inquisitive. They want to find out what is going on in that bottle and they will take it. Same way, you find electricals hanging all over the place at home. Children can get electrocuted. Same thing with school. We keep clamoring for schools to make sure that school buses are roadworthy. 18-seater bus will packed about 35 children in it, and you find out that those children are so uncomfortable. You take them from point A to point B in an unsafe manner. Parents don't know what goes on. They've paid for the term. They're not at home when they come. They're not at home before they leave. But those children are endangered every day they go and come back from school. These are the things that we begin to, and of course, we can't do this by ourselves. The government also needs to do a lot. I believe that in Nigeria, when there's a fine tied to some kind of, you know, when you're not on the side of the law, there's a fine to it, people will comply. There's a punishment to there's a repercussion for your actions. People will begin to take precautionary measures to make sure that they don't go that route. And that is why we are hoping that the government can please look into the plea of the children. Because we actually took a communique to the government 2 years ago, to the lawmakers to please. We know that is in the Gazette, but is it being implemented? No. We want this to become a law so that Nigerian child can be safer on the roads and anywhere and everywhere they find themselves. This is what we look forward to seeing. So that we're not just having parties on Children's Day. What's the whole essence of having this Children's Day? We should celebrate our child every day. The fact that a child is alive every day is enough to be celebrated. But question is, are you doing the right thing? It's not about the toys. It's not about the food you give to them. It's not about the clothes that they wear. What exactly the paramount thing that that child should have is the right to life.
And it's instructive that the Lagos State government is doing something in that you know, direction.
I must give it to Lagos State.
Yes,
they are trying.
Yes. We also have, you know, instances of child abuse, rape, you know, on the internet. In the last, you know, 2 or 3 months, you hear cases of an adult, you know, raping, you know,
parents raping their daughters.
A 3-year-old girl.
Yeah.
There have also been instances of, you know, a father impregnating her own daughter, 14-year-old or thereabout, and you wonder
what's going on. What exactly is going on? Yes, these are stories that are close to us because this is home and is what really pertains to Nigeria that we're going to be concerned about. But I'll tell you what, it's going on all over the world. It's a global phenomenon right now. It's a menace, an insane act that is going on everywhere. But there's a rule to these things. You know, just last week we had a stakeholders meeting that Lagos State actually put up together by the Ministry of Justice. And I was so glad we were invited to that forum. And at that forum we had stakeholders, people who own schools, we had the lawyers, we have all the justice and all of that. And we wanted to review this Gazette, the Child Rights Act, 2007. It's never been reviewed ever since 2007. And now they're calling the stakeholders together and say, hey, let's look at these issues. What are the appropriate punishment do you think we should accrue to such?
Mete out, yeah.
Like the one you just pointed out now. A father who was, these cases are going on every day in courtrooms.
Yes.
A father who sleeps with his own daughter every day.
Many of them go unreported.
So they're like, I think we need to make the punishment severe.
More severe.
More severe. So, I mean, that forum was quite an enlightening one because people were able to voice out and say, yes, this is the kind of punishment you should give to such people.
So Mrs. Edwards,
yes, please.
There has to be deliberate efforts, action on the part of parents, government to ensure.
Absolutely. It all lies in the hands of the parents. And if it's not your biological child or biological children, it's the guardian, you're the custodian of that child at that point in time. And of course the government. In other countries, children are protected first before any other person. The elder citizen, the children, they are the first on their list. Every child born in America can be the next American president. That's what they will tell you. And they believe that child should be taken care of at every point in time. We should bring that back home here. We shouldn't treat them like minors that they are. We should begin to be the voice for them and make sure that they're safe at every point in time they find themselves. And we shouldn't shove them and say that it's just a minor. They don't know what is going on. But guess what? The legacy, all those things you're working for, at the end of the day, nobody's going to take them on to the next level. It's just going to be there. So the generation is going to wipe away. Right. And the economy, of course, will dwindle. So it really comes back to every one of us that let's do our bit and make sure that children are safe everywhere they are.
Mrs. Bolanle Edwards, convener, Strap and Safe Child Foundation. Well, thank you very much indeed for coming to share your very passionate thoughts with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.